Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am joined here today by the one and only Saudi Prince. Our Saudi Prince, members go up. The mystery benefactor who has been gifting subs to our beautiful members. For a lot of you watching right now, I figured it would be a potentially interesting interview to find out more about who is this vigilante, who is this silent hero who keeps gifting subs every show. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, our Saudi Prince.
Whoa, what an introduction. Thank you so much for having me also.
Is there any specific reason as to why you wish to be anonymous?
Well, I just wouldn't like it to interfere with my work or daily life that much, especially with the many people making it about the money. But if someone happens to recognize me, so be it. I don't care that much.
So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I am members go up. Let's keep it at that. I am in my early, almost mid-30s. And I'm from, let's say, mainland Europe. I've lived in Germany, Spain, the Netherlands, Romania, currently in the Czech Republic. But I was working in Ukraine and I was actually about to buy a house there. But yeah,
Oof, how is the situation there?
pretty crap to say the least, especially in the east and southeast. The rest of the country is more or less functioning like normal, but they're still being attacked every so often. So, no good.
That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, what are we going to do about it? Except for hoping for the best.
And that we do. And just to clarify, you're not actually Saudi in any way, right?
No, I'm not. Although, funny enough, some do consider me, I guess, Saudi passing. I've had multiple times that someone started talking Arabic to me, thinking I looked Middle Eastern.
Really? Where's your family from, may I ask?
Oh god, that's complicated. So, my dad's side is mostly Germanic, from Germany, the Netherlands, and Austria. And my mom is Latina, from Curacao of all places. But with a Scottish grandma, a Chinese grandpa, with an African mother. So yeah, it's all over the place.
Hmm. Well, I guess one thing everyone is curious about, what do you do for a living?
Quite a lot, but anything that has to do with digital media, really. So audio, video, websites, design.
Okay.
I started off as a bug bounty hunter, so finding security issues and other bugs in systems. And currently, I'm mostly working with VR.
So with like the metaverse and games or NFTs?
I mostly do actual, so physical, real life 3D camera rigging and filming for research, reference material for games, virtual tours, and general entertainment.
Oh, nice. What are your thoughts on the metaverse and NFTs?
Oh, I refuse to do anything with NFTs. I think VR is about having more personal freedom, and NFTs, the monetization, the smart contracts, and all the vulnerabilities that come along, those really take away from that freedom.
Hmm.
But as for the metaverse, I do think the metaverse or a metaverse will become the default way of communicating online, like for calls, meetings, meetups, attending events, for classes, doing office work, things like that.
Do you have any kind of formal education for it, being that VR is still new?
Not for VR itself, but I did study audio engineering and filmmaking, those two studies at the same time. But it was too much theory for my liking. Those are things you have to practice and do to get better at. So I moved over to digital media and communication.
Got it. And where did you go from there?
So during the studies, I ran a little video and audio production company. So I just continued with that, with the bounty hunting on the side. And actually helping YouTube with image compression and with live streaming. What you guys are using for the podcast today, but what would be the very first version of that back in, I believe, 2010. But yeah, that makes things kind of come full circle with the podcast.
Oh, nice. And talking about the podcast, what first got you into watching the podcast, and why is it that you choose to gift every episode?
Well, not every episode, but almost. But yeah, I used to be a complete freeloader watching H3H3 Productions and then the podcast from the very beginning. And I thought, let's just give back now that I can actually afford it. Back then, I really couldn't. And I like that with the memberships, everyone gets something out of it, both you guys and the audience.
We appreciate it a lot. Do you only gift us, or are there other channels that you gift as well?
No, only you. And Hassan for his birthday. But you guys are pretty much like the ultimate hub for me. For instance, I used to watch Hassan from before he went on the H3 podcast originally. And I follow Asmund Gold with Ethan going on his stream. Lawful Messes, Leonard French, who ended up covering the Matt Haas case. And then places like Curacao and Romania being brought up. Even most adult topics you guys are talking about. So I guess I'm just very energetically aligned with the podcast.
Do you manage to watch every show live?
I don't think I've missed any live show. But the shows are usually in the end of the day for me anyways. I'm in the same time zone as Love at the moment. And I usually have some work to render out, so I just let my computer do its thing while I'm watching the show.
That's nice. So you work just for yourself?
As a freelancer, so mostly for others, but for myself in that sense. But I do have some other ventures and teams that I work with, mostly for web development.
And you're making your money just from that work and from VR?
Yeah, pretty much. I do license out some systems that I build that I get ongoing royalties from. So like that, it builds up.
It seems like you found your way.
Oh, thanks. I guess I have.
Do you have any hobbies besides your work?
I make music, playing the piano and composing, and some magic, like a magician.
Interesting. Now, do you also do that professionally?
No, not really. I used to, but just a little bit. I don't have that much time for it. But the work I do is my hobby anyways.
That's great that you're just doing things that you love. Do you have any advice for anyone else that would like to get involved in that?
Like doing what they love?
Yes.
Well, definitely make some time for it. And try to find ways how it can help others. And how to get them pay for it. That is basically what work is anyways. Solving issues for others and having them compensate you for that. That is not something a lot of people tend to think about, especially entertainers or artists.
Great. That's good advice. Do you have any other tips on making money, or what are your thoughts on crypto?
Besides Bitcoin and Fupacoin, I don't really deal with it. I only ever use stable coins like USDC, USD coin, when someone asks me to use that. But I urge everyone to stay away from gambling and volatile investments like that. And especially from the idea of getting rich quick, because that will only make you end up go broke.
How long did it take for you to get rich?
I think it took about 15 years to get where I am today. And the majority of that time, so like the first 10 years, I had no more than 700 to 800 bucks in my account. Usually negative 800 bucks. But I just kept doing what I loved, and I would rather go back to being broke and happy than feeling miserable while being filthy rich, which I'm not, by the way.
That's fair. Well, I don't think there's anything else I have to ask. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Not really. I hope it was interesting, and I hope you guys will keep entertaining me for many more years to come. And to anyone watching and listening, please subscribe or stay subscribed and leave a comment and like to every episode, even if it's just for a chance to get gifted. And I hope everyone stays positive, because I always feel bad when a member that I've gifted goes rogue and causes drama.
Don't feel bad. We appreciate it. That being said, the only question I have left is how much to show your face?
I don't think it makes much sense to give you a prize if I end up spending the money on you anyways. But yeah, let me just show you. I guess it can be edited out. 1 second.
Adorbs.
I'm sorry.
thanks again for all the help. And also on behalf of all the members who you've gifted, thank you for your continued support.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me, and have a great one. Bye-bye.
See ya. Take care. So that's it, folks. If you don't know, now you know. See you next week. Peace and love.